YouTube. I just want to talk to you today about some protective sleeves I've been using. Originally I got these for my Arrow Steelbooks, and the first ones I got, I've had these a couple of years now, and they literally they slide over the Steelbook, and if I can even, you know, a moment ago I pulled this straight out, so yeah, that slides out. You can see the clear plastic. Now with these ones I got originally, you can see there's a little cutout so you can grab. Unfortunately they don't put one on the other side, it's only on one side. Now these are quite tight and they're made to fit just the Steelbook. It was actually advertised as Steelbook only with no J card. These Arrow Steelbooks do have a very thin card on them, so they do go in, but you've got to be a little bit careful at the top and the bottom, just so you don't catch the card. But as it goes in, as you can see there's a flap on the inside, and that's going to catch. The first few times I realised that's going to catch on the back of the card here. So without forcing it and damaging things, it's not going to go any further. So eventually I figured out with just a piece of folded paper, I get this the right way around, this will just slide straight up to the back. And these were great. I only initially ever got 10 of them, because that's all the guy had. He was just selling some off that he'd bought and never used. But I had more Steelbooks that I needed to fill with these, and so the next bunch that I bought, I got these ones, and it's only recently since I've sold some Arrow Steelbooks that I've repurposed these, and these always felt really loose when you put a Steelbook in, and it turns out these are a slightly fatter inside, so you can actually get a Steelbook with a J card. Also these are a little better because you've got that little cutout at the top here on both sides, so it's really easy to get this in and out. I've actually got that little flap at the back, which is going to be a pain right now. So we'll go back to the sheet of paper. And just slide that on in. There we go. So yeah, I decided some of the ones that I'd taken off the Arrow Steelbooks to put on the only other Steelbooks I have left now, are my Star Wars ones. And I wondered, because these go in so well, I wondered if you could get proper slipcovers, Blu-ray slipcovers in them. And lo and behold, you can. And these slide in and out really easy, but they're still, you know, they're not loose inside. I mean, if I hold it like that, it probably will slip out, but it's not stored like that, it's stored like that. And I think it's just nice protection for them. The original ones, again, these ones without the cutout, only on the one side, these will go in, slipcovers will go in, but they are a pain to get back out. Because one, you've got nothing there to grab onto, so you've got to get underneath and in, and even when you've got your thumb in on the back, getting this out of here is no mean task. It just doesn't want to come because it's that tight inside. So I went looking to see if I could find any more of these on eBay, and I did. They were $5.50 for 10 or $10.50 for 20, so I decided to get 20 of them, and I can stick some more of my slip covers in them, and they arrived this morning. So looks like there's 2 lots of 10. If anyone's interested, that's the auction on eBay. SC3 Blu-ray Steelbook protective slipcover sleeves, protectors, pack of 20. But when you go through the pictures, as well as Steelbooks, you got slipcovers and Steelbooks with the J cards on, which those are the ones you can't get one of those J cards inside, they're just too tight. So I'm going to open these and slip them over a few slip covers. Now if I remember rightly with these, they came with a film on, protective film that keeps them scratch protected until you use them, and I think it was a bit of a chore getting it off. Yeah, you can see there. That's not so bad, is it? That's a lot easier than the ones I had before. And of course, them being flat, you've got to open them up. And I'm sure this is really interesting, looking at a very clear piece of plastic. These have got much bigger flaps and they feel flimsier. And obviously they're not the same, exactly the same product. Let's get a slip cover in there and see how it looks. So I'll just grab something off the shelf. Go. Awesome. Get rid of all of this. So we'll put the other Star Wars ones in here before do any others. Yeah, that didn't work so well, did it? There we go. So these definitely aren't as good a quality as the last ones. Let's see up there. I wonder actually. Now these are a little bit bigger. Because one thing I couldn't do with either of these other ones, let's just reach up on the shelf. So these with slip covers that the movie comes out the side, so you've got card at the top and the bottom. It makes these just a little bit bigger than a standard slip cover. It's difficult to see that, but it's just a little bit taller. So let's put this out of there. See if we can get this one in. Oops. No, I'm still just not quite big enough. I'll end up ruining the corners on this if I try too hard. It's partially there, but it's stretching it to its limit. There's no way that's going to go in without causing some kind of problems, and it'll be almost impossible to get back out again to watch the damn thing. So yeah. The problem with these ones I got originally, not the original ones, but the second lot, which these are a perfect size. They're a better quality than this for definite. That plastic's thicker, and the fit is just that much neater. Whereas on this, you can feel that it's just bulging slightly. So there's a little excess of room inside there, which of course when you start putting them together on the shelf, it's going to create very small gaps between each one, which eventually, when you've got a shelf as long as this, you're going to lose space. But still, I like them just to protect the slip covers, and it also, when you want to watch them, it's very easy to get them in and out, which that was the main issue I had with this, because I did put, when I took them off the Arrow ones after I sold those Arrow Steelbooks, I started to put them on these Arrow slip covers, and they went on fine, but then trying to get them back off again, it turns out to release them you have to get in the other side. There's the flap, it's on there, isn't it? Pull out the flap, and it's just all much of a muchness. You don't need it. Push it through. Once you've pushed it through, it's dead easy. But it's just that initial, and you don't want to be doing that every time. So I decided to use these, the only 10 that I have of this type, with the Arrow Steelbooks that I have left. Not 10, is it 10 or is it 20? No, I've got 20 of them. I've got exactly 20 Arrow Steelbooks left that I've kept Well, actually, no. There's still one of the ones I had up for sale that hasn't sold. So technically, I've got another one. Right, I'm going to pause here for a minute and fill all these up and see how they look. Alright, so I've got them all done now. Even though they're in completely the wrong order. Not that that's important, but it's time for me to go. Yeah, so even though initially I was a little bit disappointed with the fitting, nothing more than anything else. Let's have a look if we can see. It's there, look, it's if you put a bit of pressure on, it's really quite loose. Let's have a look at the others and see what they're like. I'm sure there's still some there, but yeah, so it's okay, fair enough. They just seem to sit more snug inside. Maybe I'm just imagining it. And they do go in and out quite a bit better. They just feel sturdier. But they do the same job once they're on the shelf. Once slotted in there. So as well as those, use the rest to fill up on here. So going up to Zombie Flesh Eaters 3, starting somewhere about there. I have lost a bit of space on this shelf. I had to take one Blu-ray off the end, far end there. I had to take one out just to do these 12 or 13. Doing the rest, I'm probably going to lose another space up there. But for now, I'm chuffed. Just keeps them protected. That's all that matters. We'll get some more for the rest of those. I mean, there's no point in putting them on these because I'm pretty sure these will just be totally inside, really, really loose. Let's see if we can do this. I have to put this back down. I expected that to be completely lost in there, but it's actually not. I think it's a bit excessive, to be honest. You don't need anything protective for a standard Amray case, but certainly something like this. I'd much rather have one of these than one of those resealable, flimsy, baggy things. I don't like those at all. I used to put me slipcovers, me Steelbooks in those, but you always got the seam right the way up the middle of the spine, which just looked awful. And a couple of times opening them and the plastic seal was gone anyway, so yeah, happy with these, very happy. Everything back in place. I'm sure that one. Never mind. Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say for this for the time being. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Cheers. Ta-ra.